My name is Hannah Arias and I'm in my junior year of high school. So I painted an acrylic painting of Selena Quintanilla. She was a Mexican singer and I chose to paint her because she is very important to me and my culture. I have white flowers on the side because they were her favorite flower. And I added purple glitter because purple was her favorite. And for a lot of her outfits, she had a lot of like glitter and like shiny jewelry and stuff. I think it really goes with who she was. The whole concept of making my painting into a flower. I've never been a part of Art in Bloom, so it's pretty exciting to be a part of it now, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with.
Hi, my name is Carol Mills, and I was asked if I would be interested in doing a floral arrangement, and I said yes and promptly joined the Medfield Garden Club. I'm an avid gardener. I love gardening, so I thought it would be kind of fun. I chose the painting because I was drawn to the pastel colors in it. I paint myself. My palette is very pastel. And I immediately pictured what flowers I could use to depict the pastel palette that the painter used. And so I have chosen the eucalyptus, which hangs like her hair on both sides. And I have chosen the peach and white roses to depict her complexion, and the hyacinths to represent her vibrant purple sweater. I decided that it had to be 3 vases to delineate the different areas of the painting. Given the history of many museums making floral arrangements to match or represent, is a better word, paintings over many years, I think it's a wonderful idea that Medfield chooses to carry on this tradition. It's a fun combination of people in the community and high schoolers, and to have interaction. So unfortunately, because of COVID, we may never meet, but it's a fun project.
My name is Maximilian Gobind, but I go by Max, and I'm a junior. So for my piece here, I made it in 2 layers, and so for the first layer I used pen, and for the second layer I used colored pencil on Duralog. Basically my inspiration for this was kind of to create a Grateful Dead kind of inspired art piece, and so that's why I did like the roses and the thorns and the rose crown there. I realized that like with the theme of roses goes love, so I wanted like something to contradict that, so that's why the skull was there, and I also did the snake to represent death, and that's what this says in Latin. It says through love and death, and that's the title of my piece. So I'm very excited because this is actually my second time that I'm going to be in the Art in Bloom. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out, and I'm really excited to see what the floral arrangement looks like.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Goetman, and I live in Medfield about 12 years now. And I am actually a very new member to the Garden Club because I just joined it. And this is my first activity. The artwork was intriguing to me. It kind of meant like the circle of life, love and death. And in the picture, it's roses in there too, and the skull. Then it ended up being white hydrangea. I tried to make it look like a skull, and the view is from above, like you look into a grave or in an open casket or something. And I used red roses. It's very symbolic, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Art in Bloom is something that I always thought was fabulous. I think there's an event at the MFA too, right? And it's fascinating, and you can do so many different things. And yeah, so I'm really glad I participated. It's the first time, as I said, I'm a super new member. And yeah, I hope to do that again.
I'm Zoe, I'm in 10th grade. For the project that we had to do, we had to create a monster. And so I kind of made this devil thing because when I think of a monster, I think of like things being scary or like people's biggest fears. So I tried to make it as ugly as possible. So I made it look like a devil. It's just like high fire clay, I think. And then I painted it with acrylic paint instead of glaze because I could blend it better and just make it look more realistic and scary. And just shaping, just like I didn't really use tools much other than like the ears and like the nose to like make holes or something. But I just like smoothed it out and just shaped it, like molded it with my hands. I think art and bloom, that's like a really cool idea. For mine, I feel like we're just gonna do like roses or like dark flowers because you're not gonna do like bright pink or yellow flowers with like a demon. But I think it's a really cool idea and I'm happy to be participating in it.
Hi, I'm Linda Moses. I've been in the Garden Club since 2002. I have been president before and I've run the Art and Bloom. I've run the plant sale and currently running the holiday home sale we have in December. I chose two things that I don't ordinarily do because I usually do landscapes, but I just thought I'd do something different. And this was very dark to me and it just reminded me of last year. There are many options to use for red. You know, I've got dark carnations, roses light to darkish, the calla lilies. The ears on the side are kind of pointed and the horn on his head is a seed pod. It's not easy because this is my second version. You know, you have something in your head and when you're trying to put it together, sometimes it just didn't turn out quite right. So tore it all apart and started again. I love participating in Art and Bloom. I remember the first time I got encouraged to do it. I was a fairly new member and it's a little overwhelming because I'm not really a floral arranger, but everybody is really supportive. Especially the time of year that it is, it's just so lifting after winter and snow and cold and to usually walking around the library and just seeing the artwork from the high school students and the flowers in bloom and just people's ideas are all so different. So it's really fun. I really enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Kaleshian and I'm a junior at Medfield High School. My art is a ink skeleton on paper and then it is covered with a plastic layer with acrylic paint over it. And I was kind of inspired by like life and death and like the flowers are inspired by Vincent van Gogh, so it kind of shows how like the artist is more famous in death. I'm really excited. I think that it'll be really neat to see how they translate a painting into a floral arrangement. I'm excited.
I created a floral arrangement based on color choices as an extension of the art. I chose a black vase and black willow branches to highlight the importance of the skeleton, while adding a bit of white baby's breath to pick up on the background color, and large, bold sunflowers with hints of green foliage to work in concert with the painted sunflowers. I also love sunflowers and the contrast they bring to this mixed piece, which beautifully combines art and science.
So my name is Nigel Lau. I'm a senior in high school. So originally it was a big, like this is obviously a photograph, but it's supposed to be like a big 2 foot by like 1.5 foot oil painting. So I created it just like by making shapes and lines on the canvas with some oil paint and then just decided to go with the flow, I guess. It was a bunch of layering colors, and to get the colors vibrant, you really had to just continue to layer and layer. So this piece took about like 3 months start to finish. I took a little spin on the Buddha, so the actual Buddhist culture is supposed to be very minimalist and not very about materialism, and it's supposed to be very like balanced. But nothing in this piece is actually balanced, and nothing about it is actually non-materialist. Like you have your big gold necklace and like your earrings and your headpiece, which is totally like contradicting the actual Buddhist religion. The lines and the colors, like the colors are balanced, but the actual lines, there's no symmetry throughout the whole piece. I love the fact that my art is getting exhibited in the Art and Bloom exhibit. it's totally like, it's an honor because just to have your artwork shown to other people is like telling a story almost. And it would be awesome if for you guys to like make a piece, like make a floral arrangement that just coincided with your beliefs on spirituality.
My name is Martina Lager, and I organize the Art in Bloom that happens every year in March, and this is the second time I organize it. Last year we unfortunately had to cancel, so this year is wonderful because we are able, with the help of Medfield TV, to put this event together in spite of still restrictions in place. So thank you very much Medfield TV for putting this together for us. We're very, very grateful, and it was wonderful organizing this, and I hope that the Medfield community will also enjoy seeing the wonderful artwork and the wonderful flowers. So this is inspired by Nigel Lau's Botox Buddha, and I did not know anything about his story and his inspiration, so I still don't know. So I'm very curious to hear what he has to say about it. But I was inspired by the beautiful, beautiful colors in the painting. So I tried to match every aspect of it in terms of colors. The most striking part for me was the symbol on the Buddha's forehead. So I tried to express that with this beautiful gerbera. And the other important element is the headpiece, which kind of sticks out a little bit as opposed to the face. So I tried to express that with a different type of flower. The elements in the Buddha's face seem to be very distinct and a little bit flat. So I thought gerbera might be the best flower to express that. And I tried to match every element with a gerbera in that same color. I'm very excited about the art program at the high school. My son was involved during his high school years, so I know the teachers, and so this is a wonderful way for me to stay connected with the school in a way, and connected with the art program, even though my son graduated, and bring it together, the art program and my hobby, the garden club.
I'm Grace ODonnell, and I'm a senior in high school. My art piece is an abstract acrylic painting. I used acrylic paints on Canva paper, which is like a stretched thin canvas. And the inspiration for it is trying to mimic the way that fabric moves when the wearer walks, and recreating a version of textile movement in a two-dimensional sense. I'm super excited to participate in Art in Bloom, and I honestly don't know what to expect in terms of the floral arrangement, but I'm guessing that some of the colors might be taken from this piece, and the flowers will kind of interpret the mixing of these colors in a three-dimensional sense.
Hello, my name is Nancy Jones. I'm with the Medfield Garden Club, and I have been a member of the Garden Club for about 5 years, and I am very excited about Art in Bloom. It's one of my favorite activities since I've joined. I was very inspired by the piece of art that I chose because it had so much beauty and color. They had dynamic colors, and what was most interesting I found was the way it flowed and how there felt so much movement in the painting. So in my arrangement, what I tried to accomplish was that feeling of space and movement, and my choice of colors to represent the different colors that were in the painting. And I've chosen lilies and roses and alternaria and baby's breath, and these are red twig dogwoods. So I wanted it to have this very airy, flowy feel to it. I really wanted to do Art in Bloom this year because it was such a way to give back to the community in this pandemic with COVID that we haven't been able to have lots of beauty and inspiration. So being a part of it was exciting to me, and I really wanted to be part of it.
So my name is Emery Cervelis and I'm in 12th grade. So this piece I created over the summer when I was doing an art program at the University of Michigan. It was remote because of COVID. The assignment was to take a photo of someone and take them out of their environment and put them in a new environment. So I decided to do this with a collage. So I don't have the real piece with me, but it's actually on a piece of cardboard about this big. And over it I layered like tissue paper and scraps of other papers I had. And the photo I ended up taking, this is a photo of my grandpa, my uncle, and my dad from forever ago. So this piece is pretty sentimental to me because those are obviously people I love a lot. I'm very excited about this. As an art, I'm going to college to study art. I'm going to University of Michigan where I made the piece. And I'm very big on expanding across mediums. So take one piece to as far as you can. So the idea of having something that was originally just a collage expanded into kind of a 3D element with the flowers is so awesome to me. I'm beyond excited to see it.
Hello, I'm Martina Lager. I did this piece by Emery and she called it Joseph. When I first got the image, I didn't have the information yet about it's a collage. So I completely went almost on the wrong track, thinking it might be about Paris because there's a Dior sign in it. And I thought it's a Pantheon in Paris because I'm not familiar with London. So I almost went on the Paris track with it, even designing a collage about a Paris themed vase. But then because Emery is in AP Art, there's an artist statement that probably goes to the college board that I finally could read her thoughts about this piece. And it turned out she is depicting London and it's her favorite city, and the main building is St. Paul's Cathedral in London. That was an important piece of information for me. So I depicted the towers with snapdragons and oriental lilies. The important piece in her collage is a photograph of her beloved grandfather and her uncle and dad. So 3 persons in the picture. And I'm so glad I read about that because I might have overlooked that important fact. So I depicted the 3 people that are close to her heart with 3 different flowers that are separate from the flowers trying to depict the city. And I chose pink because she said she's very fond of her grandfather and her father, obviously, and an uncle. So I chose pink to stay in the color scheme, but chose different flowers. And I brought in the orange elements that are in the collage. And the Dior sign, I used white daylilies and just created some black ornament on top of it to depict that.